A turnstile antenna operating in axial mode is one of the most reliable and widely used omnidirectional antennas for satellite communication. When you need a fixed ground station to capture low Earth orbit satellites without aiming or tracking, it is an excellent choice, though it serves a very different purpose than highly directional tracked arrays. To communicate with satellites, you face two main challenges. Satellites tumble in space, and signal passing through the ionosphere suffer from Faraday rotation, which twists the signal's polarization. A turnstile solves this by using two orthogonal half-wave dipoles fed 90 degrees out of phase quadrature. In this configuration, it radiates a circularly polarized wave along its vertical axis. Whether you configure it for right-hand circular polarization or left-hand circular polarization, this matching eliminates the severe fading up to 20 plus decibel loss you would experience if trying to receive a tumbling satellite with a standard linear dipole. While highly effective, the turnstile trades peak performance for wide coverage. Broad overhead coverage, it provides an excellent hemispherical view of the sky. For automated stations receiving NOAA weather images or ISS packet radio, you can simply mount it and walk away. The gain penalty. The maximum gain of a standard turnstile is relatively low. Because you are splitting your signal power to circularize the pattern over a wide area, the radiation power is less than the maximum radiation of a standard half-wave dipole radiating that same power. Horizon nulls. Performance drops off significantly near the horizon. You will likely lose the signal right as the satellite rises or sets, whereas a directional setup could pull it in earlier. The SWR trap. Turnstiles exhibit a remarkably broad and forgiving SWR curve. For a homebrewer, this can be misleading. A perfectly flat SWR does not guarantee a perfectly circular pattern. If the dipoles are not perfectly resonant, or if the phasing line length is slightly off due to miscalculating the coaxial velocity factor, the pattern degrades into an oval, causing deep nulls and fading. Getting more out of a turnstile. A bare turnstile radiates equally up into space and down into the ground. By adding a flat mesh or crossed reflector spaced quarter wavelength below the driven elements, the downward waves reflect 180 degrees back up. Because the reflection reverses the polarization sense, they arrive perfectly in phase with the upward circularly polarized waves, effectively doubling your axial radiation. If you plan to actively track satellites for voice work, a handheld Moxon Yagi hybrid offers much higher directivity and punch. But for a permanent hands-off LEO listening post, a turnstile with a reflector is incredibly difficult to beat for its simplicity and reliability.